know that song.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? We back for another episode of Go Cry About It. And this episode is very different. I don't even think I've done an episode like this yet. But we got to talk music, man. Me personally, I think the game is dead right now, you know? It's nothing popping right now. But, you know, I was blessed to come across a group. And you really don't even see too many groups. I haven't really heard too many rap groups since, probably like Ray Sherman? I don't know. But I came across a group, man, and they're polished in every aspect. And what I mean by that is, it's like you can have the bars, whatever, but you still have to find a way to have the visuals, have the master sound, you know. You still have to be able to come to interviews, promote your music, market your music. And when I ran into these guys, that's exactly what they had going on. And right then and there, I could tell, you know, they're going places. And that's why I had to get them on the platform. I changed up the whole just aspect of the show for these guys. And, you know, without further ado, I got Project Ambition in the building with me. How y'all feeling?
Yo, we doing decent, man. Feeling amazing.
When the full moon rise and the wolves come out, is you really outside? Hey, when the dark's in the light and you know you ain't right, is you really outside?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm feeling amazing, too. But I got all these cameras on me, man. I'm kind of nervous now, man.
No cap.
But, man, y'all got a lot going on. Like I said myself, like when I first ran into y'all was already polished. Like from the songs that I've already heard, from the visuals that I've already seen, like it's nobody really that's like, you know, I don't want to like, you know, put y'all like on the spectrum or nothing like that. But like when it comes to like Joliet, Illinois, like first off, the city now is like, I feel like it's painted in a very violent demeanor. And I came across you all. You guys are pushing a very different message. The visuals are on point. It's not, oh, let me shoot this off my iPhone real quick or nothing like that. So I just want to get into how all this came about. Like, I don't want to just ramble all about it right now, try to stuff it all into one sentence. I want you all to get into it. So, like, without further ado, like, who is Project Ambition? Who started Project Ambition? How did this even come about? What is Project Ambition?
Man, well, where should we start, man? Should we start the origin? What is Project Ambition?
Which one you want to start with?
Because both kind of like, hey.
Both is, you got time?
Well, what is Project Ambition, man? Tell us about yourselves. What do y'all push?
My brother here speak on that.
Project Ambition, it's I said this in a couple other interviews, but Project Ambition, it's more of a movement, you know, way of life.
Mm-hmm.
We it's something we like to embrace. It's not just music itself. It's like literally our reality.
Exactly.
You know, at the end of the day, we just some young college kids,
but
we trying to find balance because, you know, you've been there. You seen the whole journey. We throwing the wildest parties at JJC, but then get up the next day and meditate, you know? Like our slogan, I guess you could say, is young and wild with a deep mind. Because at the end of the day, you know, we just trying to live life like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's all about balance. That's what Project Ambition is.
For sure.
Balance.
And
realness.
For sure. And you talk about young and wild, you talk about balance, you talk about throwing parties and then meditating the next night. So, like, what does that kind of music sound like? What would you, like, describe Project Ambition's music as? Is it rap music? Like, what kind of music is it, bro?
Man, it's a frequency.
For sure.
Like, I wouldn't even say, like, it's just rap music. Because we'll go, you listen to a song like Beast by Night, yeah, we're rapping on it, but what is that?
Exactly.
Because I'm sitting there going like, fight! That's some rock and roll shit.
Yeah.
Then it's like a jazz intro, but then it's got like these tribal-ass drums with a swing, and you know,
For sure.
with a boom-bap horn. It's just, we just make music, man.
For sure.
We just produce frequencies.
And it all sounds good. Like I said, polished. That's what got me intrigued about you all. Like, you don't hear static in the background. You don't hear a note that you're not supposed to hear. It's all clean, you know?
Yeah.
It's all clean. And with that being said, you know, I don't want to just jump the gun, but I know y'all got a new single that's coming out too. I haven't heard it personally, but how y'all want to do it? Y'all want to save it till later? Y'all want to get a guest to listen right now? What y'all want to do?
we're gonna save it in the vault. We'll show you afterwards.
For sure.
We'll show you afterwards because we still got a couple things we got to get right with the single itself. But just know it's coming, you know.
So should I bleep that part out?
No,
Okay.
just keep that shit in there.
Anticipation.
Hell yeah,
Little imagination.
it's gonna be dropping this summer.
For sure.
And you heard Beats by Night, right?
Yeah. I heard Beats by Night.
And you heard Cameras.
Yeah, I heard Cameras. And Beats by Night is the song where you guys were out in Joliet downtown, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that. And Cameras, Adrian was in there. Yeah. Beats by Night. That's what did it right there. I'm like, bro, like they not talking about, guns, violence. Of course, that's what I told you that originally. I said, y'all not talking about guns and violence. And that's what majority of the people can relate to. Not majority of the world is waking up to go kill somebody, bro. They want to chill, nice weather, kick back, dance, have somebody next to them playing with the soccer ball. And that's what you all represent, bro. You guys represent, I want to say, you guys represent the majority, bro. Like, and that's what you want to aim for in the music. You want to capture every audience. And that's why I rock with y'all. And my boy Isaiah, he took the mic off rip. So I wanted to say, like, who started Project Ambition? It's 3 of y'all here. So how did this come about? And, I know all you guys are in different, like, paths in your life, as far as, like, age, school, whatever. So, like, how did Project Ambition come about?
Man, so it's kind of a long story, I ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna give the folks kind of a condensed version of it, as I always do, because otherwise we'll be sitting here for another 20, 25 minutes just with that,
Yeah.
But really, Project Ambition goes back a while, like as far as, you could say earlier than 2022, but I'm gonna start at 2022. That's when like the idea kind of really came like really about right there. So like at the time, it really started with like me and Isaiah, right? It was us and like a whole nother group of individuals. Like it wasn't the 3 of us like you see now. Like me and Zay was still there from the start of it when we started it back at that time.
For sure.
But like it was a whole nother group of individuals, right? And the name Project Ambition really came about from a day where it was like me, Zay, our crew at the time, right? And his stepdad came in, right? We having a studio session at his crib, right? And, we working, doing what we do. And we were still trying to come up with a name for our collective, right? And so then his stepdad came in and was like, suggested, why don't y'all do something involving the word project? Because, we was always working on something, you know what I mean? Like the vision may have not been exactly the same it is now. It wasn't as flourished as it was, but we was always working on something, whether it was video related, music related, something. We was always doing something with ourselves, right?
For sure.
And so then he was like, y'all always working on some type of project. Why don't y'all do something related to that, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought about it for like a day or two. And then I came back. I'm like, yo, why don't we call ourselves Project Ambition? Because our whole group, we was ambitious individuals. We was always driven, trying to like better ourselves, do something with ourselves, with our craft. So then fast forward really, later 2022, right? Like, of course, our group had different visions, the people in our group at the time. So we kind of like went our different ways. And it just kind of ended up being me and Zay really. And at that time, we then eventually ran to Remington, right? Excuse me. And then it was kind of like, at first, like when it was just me and Zay, we were kind of like, it felt like there was something missing in the puzzle piece right there, So then when Remington came about, it's kind of like everything just really felt complete. Because really, at first, we didn't even know this dude made music. Like these two met before I met Remington. Like I met him a little bit after he met, or these two met a little bit before I met Remington, right? And basically, like they found out they made music and he showed me his music. So I was like, okay, this dude cold. So then one day, me and Zay, we made a track called Like a Drive-By. We made the beat for it. That was our very first song we ever made together as a collective, right? The 3 of us, right? Sure. And that's a single he dropped a while back for his project. But yeah, like me and Zay, we made the beat for that one day at his crib. We were supposed to go to like a heavy metal concert that day. And we were like, yeah, nah, man, we just gonna stay at the crib, work on some music. So we cooked up the beat for that. Showed Remington the beat. We met with him one day. Yeah. And we like had that beat on loop for like 3 hours. And then we had like a 10-hour long session. I swear that day too. We were just working on that song.
10-hour long session?
Bro, I'm not even joking when I say that. But then again, it was also because of the fact that like all of us, we like weren't as seasoned with recording as we are now. Like that was the first song I ever had to like be an engineer in recording as. Yeah. This was like his first time recording a song really. So it was like we were all kind of new to the process. But it was a really like magical moment for all of us because that's where we like really discovered our chemistry right there in a way, And it was like from there, one song became 1, 2 became 3, and next thing you know, now we got a whole project
for sure
together, so.
And it's crazy that you say like the dates because as you're telling me the dates, it's safe to say that this whole thing is a new idea almost. And from the outside looking in, you can't tell though because I'm preaching the whole polished thing, and you guys are really that polished to where I didn't even know that you guys have been doing it for that long. Like, I mean, that this short amount of time. Like,
Yeah.
I look at how ambitious Isaiah is, and you could think that he been rapping since he was like a little kid, which he probably was. But
Yeah.
I would imagine he's been doing it just on a professional tip since he was a little kid, because it just seems so natural and it looks so good. But as I was saying initially, you know, like, it's not as many like groups. Maybe you'll see groups and like singing groups, you know, R&B groups, but rap groups, like, I haven't seen one. Me personally, I haven't heard of a rap group since Ray Shrimber. Maybe I'm just unk status. I don't know, bro. But that's just me. So with that being said, it's 3 of you all here right now. So what do you feel like each one of you all bring to the table that makes this thing just one big flourishing, just, you know, flourishing thing? I don't know how to really put it, but what do you all bring to the table, you feel me?
I feel like the beauty about this, we have kind of like a 3-legged stool type of thing going on, right? And the thing with that is, like, each of us has a strength that compensates for another man's weakness, I feel like.
For
So,
sure.
like, maybe, like, for instance, to, like, kind of put things in perspective, right? When it comes to the production side of the music, right? Like, my strong suit is really creating melodies, whipping up sample chops, all that. I can do that on the fly, you know what I'm saying? I can make dope drums, right? But, you know, like, they're not always my strong suit, you know what I'm saying? Right? So, like, that's Zay's strong suits. That's where he'll kind of come in, you know what I mean? So, like, maybe, like, his, like, for the most part, oh, wait, we good?
Go ahead, my boy.
Oh, my bad, bro. I was sure you told me, man. But, nah, I feel like,
Oh, you talking about his mic?
Like bend it, basically.
for sure. But,
Nigga, you gonna bend the mic?
oh, shit. My bad.
Yeah, you gotta bend it.
Oh, I ain't know how to.
For sure, got it.
I thought you were talking about Ben his mic.
Anyways.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, basically what I was saying, like, kind of go back to what I was saying. I was like, yeah, each of us has a strength that compensates for another man's weakness, right? So, like, me with the melodies, Zay with his drums, you know, like, that's his strong suit, while the melodies might be my strong suit. So when they come together, it's kind of like, yo, what's going on here? You know, this is crazy. Remington, he has, like, a very, like, laid-back type of pocket, you know? He'll bring the vibes to a track, and he'll kind of like a laid-back style. While Zay, he'll have, like, an aggressive type of delivery style. Yeah. So, like, if you listen on cameras, right, Remington, he comes with his laid-back style, and then you got Zay, he come in with his aggressive style. It's like, it's balanced to everything, I feel like.
Hey, that's a great way to put it. You know, you getting a little bit of everything when you listen to that song. Fellas, y'all think y'all got a different answer, or y'all agree?
Yeah, y'all want to play? Remington, you ain't even talk yet, bro.
I think, I wasn't going to speak, but I feel like you said it, you covered everything that needs to be covered. I think it's a 3-legged stool, and it's like if you take one leg out of a 3-legged stool, then it falls
You
apart.
can pull it up to your mouth.
Oh, shit, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like if you take one leg out of the 3-legged stool, then it falls apart. So it's like we basically compensate each other in all the ways that we can.
For sure.
And like I always tell these niggas, I'm like, yo, this shit is not like common. It's very rare. It's not supposed to work, but it is. So, you know, we making it work as much as we can, and we got a whole project. So that's evident of how much chemistry is here. So
for sure, and just a short amount of time too. Like,
exactly, yeah.
Of course, anything good takes time, but for y'all to be moving like this, like you said, the chemistry is there.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, you know, all of you aren't from like Joliet, Illinois, but I kind of just want to like touch on just like where you guys are from and how it ties into your delivery, the music that you make and whatnot. So like, you know, which one of you guys want to go first? Are you both from Joliet? You want to say?
Yeah. Both of us is.
Okay, so, you know, like when you hear Joliet or see Joliet, like, you know, what kind of like image comes to mind? Like, what does the city mean to you at first? Like, what does Joliet mean to you all?
I feel like, okay, I know I might get some hate for this. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Joliet, right?
Does Joliet have anything to do with your music?
I will say it has a lot to actually do with a lot of what I do.
Okay.
Like a lot of my life experiences I've had here
Yeah.
contribute to how my music or my inspirations come about with it. But like going back to like how I said I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love it for the fact that it's helped me because it's a place where I feel like it has a lot of limited resources as far as like the creative scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's forced me to have to like really get creative with how I approach things. So whether that's how I direct music videos or how I'm making my music, it's like I have to be something different outside the box, really, you know, in a way. So that kind of helps how I create the sound and things I just create in general, you know. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, you probably won't really find a sound that similar to PAs by whatsoever really, because it's like it's like just being in the town of Joy, you know, it forces you kind of have to get out that comfort zone, think outside the box. But you know, like also I kind of got, like I said, the hate part of it is kind of just like, you know, it's Joliet. you are, that's self-explanatory in itself, you know.
It might not be though, bro. For the viewers that's watching, they might not know.
I'm gonna say something from someone who's not from here. I think when you're like in your city, you like downplay the good parts about your city and everything that you like about your city. And it's like only when you leave you start to recognize everything that was great about your city or things that you took for granted. So, I mean, me not being from here, it's like I see the glass half full. So I'm like, okay, well, y'all, what are y'all talking about? You know what I mean? But obviously they've been here their whole lives, so it feels different. Even when I was back home, it was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, you always wondering what is out there. And you feel like there's more out there because you're not, you know what I mean? You never left. So, you know, I feel like there's pros and cons. I mean, you know, there's benefits in leaving away from home for sure.
Go ahead, Zay. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Stretch, you tweaking, boy. I like Joliet. Nah, I mean, I get where he's coming from because it's not. Joliet, there's not a lot of opportunity on the surface, on the surface level. You go to Chicago, wow, there's an open mic over there, club over there. Okay, there's a rap group. Okay, they sound like you. All right, let's get up over here. You know, it's like that.
For sure.
But with Joliet, it's like you have to really go find it. But with us, thing about us is if we can't find it and we know it relates to us, we gonna spearhead it, you know? Because you listen to our music, especially a song like Beats by Night, like Cameras, you know, that's turning up. But Beats by Night, that sounds like Joliet. It's like a little bit of artsy, but it's like, it's grimy, it's a little dirty, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how Joliet is. And there's no hate to the city or anything, but come on now, you seen that bridge. Don't nobody want to go on no damn I-80. But, you know, that's what makes the music real.
Yeah.
Because with Joliet, it's like, it's a couple type of people, you know.
For sure.
You got the people who's like, for real, gonna go get it. They always go outside of Joliet. And then you got the people who like sit and watch. Like the other people go get it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we just put both of those perspectives in our music a lot. And then he come from where he from.
Right. He brings a whole nother.
He bring a whole nother. So like all them percussive elements.
Exactly. Drums.
Like, I'm sitting there listening to like Remington's playlist, and it's just. So I'm like,
right.
don't mind if I do, but slide that shit over there.
Let me get a few of them sounds.
So yeah. And then that's what makes it how it is.
Yeah.
So
you really just hit it right on the head. Like my next question was gonna be, so how does all this tie into the music? And like you just said, it's two kind of people in Joliet: the people that's gonna go out at Joliet to make it happen, or the people that's gonna stay in their city and kind of watch what's kind of unfolding. And y'all music captures both sides of that. And, you know, that's what's up. And don't think that it's just people like that in Joliet. It's people like that all over the world. And
true. For sure.
when y'all marketing y'all music like this, y'all already polished like this, y'all hopping on platforms, letting it be known what it is, people gonna catch on, bro. It might not be today, tomorrow, but they gonna catch on for sure. For sure.
I saw this thing that says like your city, you blow up in your city last. Like it's like everybody else around is gonna see you, and then your city's gonna be like, oh,
Right.
they from here.
I
So
know
it's
them.
like
You feel me?
exactly. Even for me, I feel like the only reason I've got a little bit of support like right now is because I left. If I didn't leave, like they're just like, okay. That's
Do you know
relative.
how hard it would have been for you? Wait, I don't even want to confuse where you from. Where you from again, bro?
I moved here from South Africa, Centurion.
Man.
So
Do you know how hard it would have
That's-
been to just blow up as a South African, whether
Yeah,
you be a rapper or
Centurion,
just
yeah,
artist? You have to tap
exactly.
into the United States. You feel me?
exactly. And for you to blow up from Centurion, you either have to go to PTA, like those that know, like Pretoria, or you go to Joburg, which is like the biggest hub ever. But for me to blow up from Centurion, it's kind of hard. And it's like, it's either you move to these two big cities next to you, and even then it's oversaturated. But then, like, it's only when you leave that people actually pay attention. And if you don't leave, it's kind of hard. Like, people just don't care.
For sure.
So it's only when I left that people were actually like, oh, shoot, like, you know, that's Remy. And he he's still rapping, and they feel a sense of pride, like, okay, he's one of us. But besides me leaving, they don't care. They're just like, yo, okay, he's dropping another song. Okay, bro, I'm gonna check it out if I have the time.
Right.
But, you know, so that's what I'm always telling them. I'm like, bro, like, if you gotta leave for the opportunity, great. If you can do it from home, that's amazing. But eventually, J-Town is probably only gonna catch on last. Like, okay, shit, like these niggas are from Joliet. But
Right.
before then, everybody else outside is like really like, okay, we see them.
Yeah.
So
And then like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but like I feel like that's what makes our story so unique, because we got that inside perspective, and then we got an outside from a whole nother continent.
Mm-hmm.
So like when Remington was coming here, it's kind of like I'm not trying to get all like political or nothing, but like when he was coming here, I was telling him like when you here, you're not necessarily like African no more. Like you're black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of fucked up to say, but like
You're only gonna be African once you show it. type
Yeah.
shit. Like nobody's gonna be like, you African, you feel me? You
they
one of the
don't know.
guys.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't see.
Yeah.
We just all look the same.
Yeah.
and even then like when like he gets stopped by the police or something,
Yeah.
you know, it's like certain things you have to do. I don't know if it's like that in his country, but over here, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Like for us, so
It's all the same. Like, I mean, in Africa, we are like majority black people, but they don't really know what tribe or like what your background is. So you're all black, like you're all African. I
Yeah,
guess. So
yeah.
you can't really until you start speaking, until you say your name, until you say certain things that really help you identify where you're from. But other than that, when they see us, we all the same. So
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a great point. And since we already kind of like talking about like where we from and whatnot, like I kind of like want to touch on like the upbringing a little bit. Just like how does music incorporate into y'all upbringing? Like, you know, everybody. I ain't gonna say everybody, but when you just look at artists now, they say, you know, my dad had music playing in the background, whatever the case may be. So like, what was y'all's story? Like, how y'all get introduced to music? Or how did y'all found that y'all love music?
Jeez, I think I was asked this question the other day, and I was like, bro, like, I can't even recall. Because I had older siblings. I'm the youngest one. So there's just all of these different, like, influences on what is actually dope.
Yeah.
Like, my parents are listening to Whitney Houston, MJ, and my brothers are putting me onto hip-hop. Like, okay, bro, this is what's dope, and this is what's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like hip-hop was always a part of the household, and that's what I was introduced to at a young age. That's why it evolved. I mean, I didn't always rap, but I always loved hip-hop. So it's like in high school when dudes was... I was saying this to Vic the other day, and he was laughing at me, but like when dudes was crumping in high school, I was crumping. When dudes was dancing, we were dancing. Like, and it all evolved through that, and it became what it is today, which is me actually making the music. But
Crumping is crazy.
it's like it's always been there. Yeah. But bro, if you like dudes that went to Littleton Primary School, shout out, like y'all, you know, they know, like we was crumping, literally, bro. Like it was,
that
they'll be
music
like-
is crazy though.
bro, there'll be like big circles, and the whole school would come there, whether it's like a Valentine's ball or whatever. There'd be like an hour where dudes is just crumping. Like everybody.
Is it the music like crump music though?
It's crump. They had J Squad.
Okay.
If you know J Squad, you
I don't know.
J Squad.
I don't know J Squad,
That's
but I
like
know how
the-
crump music sounds. Like
Yeah, it's like the. They had the whole J Squad. New Boys was like popping. Like
Yeah,
they
New
played New
Boys.
Boys every time. So jerking,
Oh my god.
like all of
that's
that
like
was
2014 then.
all of that was part of the culture. So.
Yeah.
That's what I'm growing up to, and it's like all these people, and it's funny, it's ironic. All the people that crumped make music today.
Was y'all footworking out there?
No, not at all. I don't even know what footworking was. till
Maybe
I
that's
moved
like
here.
a Chicago thing, but
Yeah.
niggas just footworking. Like,
Yeah,
that's the best way to put it, bro.
We didn't know what footworking was, but we do like house music for sure.
Okay.
House music is big, and
Maybe footworking is just a
in
Chicago thing. I don't know.
yeah, I didn't know what that was, but yeah, like everybody who was crumping or dancing back in like we call it primary school, which is like first grade to 6th, 7th grade, and then you have 8th grade to 12, which is high school. All make music today, which makes sense because they just a part of the culture, I guess. So
Yeah.
if you had to ask me like where it started, I'd say I guess that's where it really just
The culture.
started from. It was just the culture that was around, at least my friend group and people that I hung out with. So
Yeah,
it was inevitable.
for sure. There's really no better way to put it. You know?
Yeah,
The culture
exactly. Yeah,
gonna carry every time.
Mhm.
So we create the culture, really. So we are the culture.
we
We
are.
just
Yeah,
living in it, really.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, now I'm realizing I'm like, oh shit, we are the culture now.
Exactly.
But you know, like being part of it is just how like you earn your foundation and you're actually studying the game because you're listening to all these albums and doing all of these things, and that's what creates
yeah.
your sound or whatever you make. I guess.
It's really kind of like the Joliet story. He said you either gonna be the person that try to get it done,
Yeah.
like kind of outside of the culture, or
Watching it,
watch
yeah.
it happen. And
Right.
the culture, you either gonna be a part of the culture, or
Exactly.
you're gonna watch it all unfold. You feel me?
Facts.
So that's a great way to put it, my boy. But what about you, Isaiah? I feel like your story is deeper than that. I really feel like Isaiah really been in it. Like he came out the womb, AirPod in his ear. You feel me?
Probably. Shit. Nah, what was the question again, man?
Just like how you get introduced to music, like how you know you love music, man.
Literally came out the womb like that.
For
It's
sure.
I think it's
And you really like show that with your approach and just whatever. Like you really capture that. But keep
man,
going.
thank you, boy. I mean, I try as much as possible because, like, actually, yeah, low key, it is kind of crazy. Like, low key came out the womb like that. I got this thing called synesthesia.
I don't know what that is.
So, synesthesia is where your senses are crossed.
For sure.
So, like, example, I hear music, I see colors.
Okay.
And, yeah, like, I think I got like a weird version of it because it's like all my senses are crossed. So if I was like blind, like, and I put my hand through this, like I know exactly like
feel
the
you.
texture of it, and I'll be able to see the texture.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I smell certain stuff, like I can see the smell. So like, shit, if you musty as hell, boy, just know
You smelling like zoo.
I
type
smell that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
shit. You seeing the zoo. my
yeah,
fault.
everything is like heightened. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
for sure.
So like music, at least just sound.
Yeah.
It's been very more connected to it, you know.
I feel you.
My dad was a drummer,
For sure.
so I've been playing drums since I was like 2.
I noticed
And,
that about you too. That's a flex. Not a lot of niggas know how to play the drums. My brother know how to play the drums, and that really I kind of like was low key jealous of him on the low, cause like damn, you know how to play the drums, and then I seen you know how to play the drums. Like that's a flex, bro.
I mean, man, thank you, man. You know, drummers, you know, we be the ones to get the, most out the band, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
Pop
playing.
up to the church service and you the drummer. You low key almost important as the pastor, bro. A lot of niggas don't want to admit it, but in the black church, bro, the drummer is important, my guy, for real.
I mean, that's where music be coming from, you know? Like, think about it. Like, in Africa, it wasn't no damn keyboard.
yeah.
Niggas ain't have no trumpets,
they
you know
be
what I'm
doing the
saying?
drums.
You was either sitting there making the music with your body like this, or
Right.
you had like them big ass like bongos, and it was some
Exactly.
tribal type stuff.
Exactly.
So
That's
you know,
really where it stems from, though. The bongos.
the drum,
Yeah.
bongo, percussion in general is the
all you need.
foundation of music.
Exactly.
So I've been playing that since I was real young, and my mom, she put me in band. I was not trying to be in band. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm so glad I did because it taught me a lot. Taught me different scales, you know, how to actually read music, count bars and stuff like that.
That's important.
And then I was in drumline in high school. That's a whole nother story. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Talk about the importance of knowing how to read music in today's era of music. Do you need to know how to read music, or can you get it done without it?
You could get it done without it for sure.
Sure. Okay. Appreciate it, boss.
You could get it done without reading music for sure. Cause me, I know how to read music, but I ain't the best at it.
Yeah.
Like it's not something I depend on.
Yeah.
But if you are able to, you will have an edge over a lot of people. Cause if you can like see it, and it's like, okay, that's F.
You're a wizard on the keyboard.
You know what I'm saying? Oh hell no, I ain't no wizard. That guy's the wizard.
Do you know how to
what I'm
read
saying?
music, bro?
Okay, I can read it. I could read it, but not as fluently as like a person who's been reading their whole life can. Like I could look at some sheet music and be like, okay, this is A, this is B, this.
Okay.
Cause I'm not gonna lie, I low key just recently like the past 2 years really just started learning like how
For sure.
music theory works like that. I've been probably doing that only for maybe I learned it earlier as a kid, but I never really like retained it.
Yeah.
But like when I took a class at JJC, you know, like I wanted to learn more about it, and I kind of just like really try to digest it more that way and apply it to what I do now. So, but I don't even really use sheet music. It's just a lot of by ear and what I'm hearing in my head, and I just translate that through there. Yeah, so
that's kind of where I was getting at, because you know a lot of people, they know how to read the music, and they're, like I said, a wizard on the keys almost. But there's can be people who's very good at just music, playing the keys, playing the drums, and never even know how to read music. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off about your, like, you know, your life story, your upbringing. So keep going.
I mean, nah, that was pretty much it, man. It's just, you know, and then okay, when it comes to actually making like beats and composing things, I just I started. So I had action figures back in the day, like, you know, the WWE action figures and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had bogus ass Wi-Fi. So I'm somebody who was getting real like immersed into it. Like I have the Titantron. I made myself like a ring and stuff.
Yeah.
So the Wi-Fi was bogus, so I couldn't put the theme song into YouTube without it lagging.
For sure.
So I just made it myself, because my mom, she got me an iPod for my 10th birthday. I was just sitting there making the music. So homie come out, you know what I'm saying? And then boom. And literally that's over time it just evolved.
Yeah.
So
hey, imagine you showing your friends something like that. They'll probably hate on that shit so hard. Like you said, it just evolves over time to look to where it came now, bro. Cameras, Beats by Night, you feel me? All that. So Don, you wanted to say something like how music, like how you know you just love music?
So for me, mine, I feel like it's a little bit different compared to these two. You know, like I don't have a family of musicians. My family, there weren't really musicians in my family like that, really. It is more so, I will say my family listens to a lot of music. Like I'd have, like they play a lot of R&B, jazz, blues, soul. You know, the typical stuff you hear in a black household, you know what I'm saying?
You know, that cleanup music almost.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that. So that's kind of what I really grew up on. It wasn't too much hip hop, but that more so I kind of grew more into listening to hip hop as I got older. You know what I'm saying? Just going back, listening to a lot of the classics, you know, and all that, right? But music really kind of hit me like later in life. I feel like it really found me in a way, because like as a kid, like I always had a love for music and creating. Like I drew a lot as a kid and stuff, and I did have a deep love for music, you know, exploring new music. But I never really just thought about creating myself, because I always felt like I was so garbage at playing instruments and all that. You know what I mean? I felt like I couldn't really sing or rap like that, you know. But really, come like my sophomore year of high school, you know, it's like me and a homie of mine. We were like messing around freestyling and stuff, right? And I was kind of like, you know what? We messing around. I'm gonna just make a beat, right? You know, GarageBand on your phone, right?
Yeah,
that app, yeah. Now, mind you, I have no clue what I'm doing. I've never made a beat in my life. I have no clue where you even start to make a beat. I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna experiment around, right? So I go on GarageBand on my phone. I put together like a piano loop and like a 2015 like trap drum loop, right? And I swear to you, bro, I thought like I was like the coldest producer of all time. Like I thought I was like Metro Boomin, Pierre Bourne in that moment, right? Yeah. So, but like, you know, it just really became a habit though. Like I started with that, just making beats on that almost every day. And then like I eventually got FL Studio, like maybe about a year or so later. And then from there, you know, it just became a habit. Like I just did it every day. And then now it's like something I fell deeply in love with, you know.
You said a year or so later, and the last date I remember you mentioning was 2015. So when did you get FL? Like 2017, 2016?
Oh, so I started 2019 making beats.
2019. Oh,
okay. So actually, more so probably like 2021 actually. I think I got FL.
Yeah.
Like I had an actual DAW then, but like from there, you know, it just kept being repetition. And then it just became a habit. It just became embedded in me now, you know, so.
Yeah, and now we're here. Like I said, cameras, Beats by Night. I'm gonna definitely put like footage and let them hear just what you guys create, because like I said, it's polished, it represents the majority, and it's just good music. You feel me? Like it's crazy to see how just in a shorter span of time you can get something that looks that professional, sound that professional. It's like truly inspiring. You feel me? Even to myself, like it's truly inspiring. So how? I know we only got like 30 minutes. I don't even know how much time we got left, but we gotta wrap this up soon. I want to talk about just like cameras and Beats by Night, just how like how y'all approach that. I know we probably just wasted a lot of time.
Nah, bro, check. Hey, look, if they kick us out of here, we doing the podcast outside in the parking lot. They ain't gonna kick us out of the land. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, nigga. We gonna do this podcast.
For sure. So like, I mean, it's 5:13, but like real quick, just like. Beats by Night, cameras, Like it was the 2 different records, of course, but like tell me about the approach, just the behind the scenes, like what goes into creating a record for Project Ambition.
Just like a record in general, or kind of just like those specific records in particular?
Those specific records. Was the vibe the same? It's 2 different records, like I said.
Yeah, it was 2 completely different processes. I want to say for those. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of passing the mic to Zay and let him explain this one. A little bit. You know what I'm saying?
What you want to start with? Beats? You want to start with Beats by Night or Cameras?
I want to start with Beats by Night. That came out first, so
Okay.
kind of just tell me how y'all approach that song. You know,
Want to hear something crazy?
what's up?
Beats by Night. We had that first song. It's called Like a Drive-By.
Yeah.
Our second song was Beats by Night we ever made as a group. Literally.
No.
That's when we knew we was like, all right, yeah, we gonna be here for a while. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We gonna be together for a minute.
Yeah.
But it sounded different. You know, it was it sounded where we were musically at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't the big grand hard ass song that you hear. It was just a bunch of noise, you know. And then me and Rem, we wrote to it, and over the years we just went back as our musical ear progressed.
Mm-hmm.
We went back and we just changed a lot, you know. So okay, yeah, these drums is ass. Let's go
Yeah.
ahead and change these drums. Put these sounds here. Okay, now it's like bumping. Okay, all right, Rem part. All right, it's like bopping. Let's make it bop a little bit more. Let's take the bass out. Doom, doom,
Yeah.
doom, and put that bass right there. Me, yeah, I'm gonna have to re-record that shit. That is not it. All right, let's go ahead and go back, and then you know. So it just over the years that it just progressed.
For sure.
We might release like old versions just so niggas could see like this is where we started from, and then this is how it came. Cause it's a lot of songs that you know do that. So, but that's Beats by Night though.
And it's so crazy when y'all get that name for yourselves, or y'all really just become who y'all supposed to be. When y'all go back and release the old songs, people gonna fuck with those just cause y'all Project
Yeah.
Ambition. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like this the old shit. Oh, you know, like, you feel me? But yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, for sure. But what about cameras though? That's the same kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I think also like we spoke about this that previous episode. Like Beats by Night was like a whole year old before it even dropped.
Yeah.
That explains like the polished sound because it's like so many like rough mixes coming out, and it's like okay, we gotta go back, tweak it. But with cameras, I'd say we made that like a year later after Beats by Night, and we were within that frequency. I'd say like we just hosted our first event, which was Afro beats themed, and the real core reason why we made that is because we're just like, bro, like everybody, like you said, like everybody's making music about violence, and it's just like low vibrational music. And it's like, bro, there has to be like that midpoint where you can have a good time and still dance. Like, bro, you can still talk to girls in a good way. It doesn't have to be all the way R&B. You can still rap,
Right.
and you're still talking to the shorties in a nice way, and we're still having a good time.
Exactly.
And it's like, what is that? And it's like Afro beats, but we're not Afro beats artists though.
Yeah.
So it's like, even though we're going to tune into this frequency, we're gonna still do it our way. We're still gonna do it in a PA way.
For
And
sure.
what do you get? You get cameras, which is the sound of an Afrobeat song, but really we just still rapping. We're still us. It's just us embracing the sound and just, you know, honoring the sound. It was in no way like trying to disrespect the genre. And that was my biggest worry before we dropped. I was like, yo, man, I feel like this comes off a little disrespectful. But it wasn't like that. It was just like, we're a fan of the sound and we want to contribute to the sound, which is what culture is. Like you said, you're either contributing or you watch it from the outside. And we're like, yo, we could contribute, but we're going to do it our way. And whoever gets it, gets it. And if they don't, you know what I mean?
It'd be all right.
They'll be all right, you know what I'm saying? But also, I think us dropping cameras was something that we needed to do just so that people can have something they can relate to. If you don't like Beats by Night, you most probably like cameras. And if you don't like cameras, you probably like Beats by Night. And if you like both, that's great. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then we're riding. But yeah, I think both songs serve a different person and each person has a good time when they hear it.
For sure. That's wonderfully said right there, bro. And you talk about how it's been a year since it was a year that had passed since you had dropped Beats by Night, and then a year later y'all did Cameras, and
Yeah.
it takes however time it takes to drop that, but
Yeah.
that just goes to show that you love what you're doing. You're putting the time, the effort, the repetition into making sure that it's supposed to be what it's supposed to be. And
Oh yeah.
any viewer that's watching, they need to learn that and really take this from Project Ambition. Take your
Yeah.
time, man. Don't rush anything. Let everything just listen to it 100 times if you got to, bro. Just
For real. For
you know,
real.
just get it right before the other people critique it. So that was wonderfully said by you.
Yeah.
I know you're on a time crunch, but Don, you want to say anything about the 2 songs?
Man, honestly, I mean, they kind of really summed it up. If I'm being real,
Yeah.
I just like to probably say, I'll just say this really. For the people who liked both songs or maybe didn't like one or the other,
Yeah.
the next single we will be dropping, Eagles and Wolves, right?
Yeah.
That is going to be coming this summer, right? We don't have an exact date yet because we're still working on a couple of details related to everything with the rollout and stuff. But that will be coming very soon. So I'd say it's a good balance between both of those.
Sure.
If you like Beats by Night or if you like Cameras, this is the in between. You know, it got the vibes of Cameras with the hard hitting drums of Beats by Night. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for that.
Bet. It's just like they said, be on the lookout. We really gonna let the fans do their homework, let them be the judge on Beats by Night, Cameras, let them, you know, get hip to what y'all are pushing and what y'all are made of. And like he said, be on the lookout for Eagles and Wolves, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bet. So, hey man, just like that, I appreciate y'all for coming on the very first rap edition of Go Cry About It. I appreciate y'all,
Hey, we
man.
happy to be here, man. Thank
Our
you.
debut?
Yep, debut.
That's big.
That's crazy.
That's big.
It's the first time for everything, but it's definitely gonna be the last. I appreciate y'all, like I said again, for coming out. Any last things I want to say?
You said it was definitely gonna be the last.
No, it won't be the last.
Oh, I
I'm
was
like,
like,
yo,
damn, man.
last
Like,
and last.
we must have
I said it was
bombed
gonna
this
be the last.
interview, man.
I said it was gonna be the last.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's bad. I gotta edit that one out. Nah, won't be the last. I don't know. I was tripping, but yeah, bro.
I hope not.
Yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Nah, you straight, bro.
Hey.
We know what you meant in the spirit.
For sure, man. For sure. If y'all don't like what they said, what we had to say, go cry about it. Just like that, we out.
Real.
Yeah. 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 Hey. Hey. I like the vibe. I like the right. I like the right songs that make them dance. I like the vibe. I like the right. I like the right songs that make them dance. I like the vibe. I like the right. I like the right songs that make them dance. I like the vibe. I like the right. I like the right songs that make them dance. Mama say, Mama san, Mama kusa. Baby girl, you should really throw it back, yeah. Mama say, Mama san, Mama kusa. Baby girl, yeah, she don't know how to act, yeah. Mama say, Mama san, Mama kusa. Baby girl, yeah, she really got back, yeah. Mama say, Mama san, Mama kusa. Mama say,